This is CBS 42, Champion Celebration in Tuscaloosa.
The journey began a long time ago. For the 17th time, we gather outside Bryant-Denny Stadium to celebrate a championship season for the University of Alabama. Just a few days ago, they were holding up the trophy in Atlanta, and now the fans come back to see the trophy presentation in a big parade today.
And with all the chilly weather that we've had lately, it's a perfect day for this national championship parade. Fans have lined the streets here in Tuscaloosa. Brees, it could not be a better turnout right now.
I want to bring everybody in. Welcome with us. We are live here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And Greg Byrne, Alabama's AD, well, I think he had a pretty good first year as the Crimson Tide head man. Greg, thanks so much for being with us. What went into making today possible for you guys?
Well, obviously great work by our student athletes and our coaches to have the season that we just had. Obviously, anytime you go through a season, you're going to have your challenges, but we had our backs against the wall several times, and the guys just responded extremely well. Coach Saban kept them very focused, had great support from our fans, and got to New Orleans as the fourth place team in the CFP, and were able to go get a hard-fought victory against Clemson, and went to Atlanta and found a way to get the Georgia Bulldogs. We're just thrilled to be here today.
Well, here we are at the beginning of the parade route. You can see it's going to start right here, right around 2 o'clock. It's going to have the giant semi-truck. Now, this is the equipment truck that they use all year. It's got decked out in all Alabama everything. You got the little elephant ornament at the beginning. Its eyes are glowing red. That thing is terrifying. I'll tell you what's even more terrifying about this. The horn itself is an actual elephant roar, I guess you could call it. And right when they leave every stadium late at night when we're still working, they let that thing blare when they arrive and when they leave, and it'll scare just about anyone around it. But that's going to be where the parade starts, and that's what's going to be leading them down this University Boulevard. And with the cheerleaders and the band and everyone else behind it, the fans are all over here. They're all eagerly waiting. In just under 15 minutes, this parade is going to be underway. Let's send it back over to the set with Athletic Director Greg Byrne and the rest of the gang.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. And like you said, here with Greg Byrne, Alabama Athletic Director. And Greg, when you go back and look at that game and you see that final touchdown pass, just the guts to put Tua in that game, I mean, does it bring back all these emotions from watching it live?
Well, it does. And first of all, Jalen Hurts deserves so much credit for putting us in that position. And then when Tua had his opportunity, he made the most of it. And how fortunate are we that we had two great quarterbacks like that to be able to play this year. And so when Tua had the opportunity, when he got sacked on the previous play, and then all of a sudden I'm standing on the opposite 25-yard line, and I actually looked up at the board to watch it. And next thing you know, he looked the safety off, made the play to Smith, and there we were, we won a national championship. What an incredible day for our program and our university and all our fans.
It's a dynasty unlike college football's ever seen. 5 championships in 9 years, yet we're here with thousands of Alabama fans again for another celebration today. You don't worry about the head coach being fat, happy, complacent. As the leader of the athletic department, is that something you are aware of? It's on your radar every day? We're not going to be complacent with anything.
We cannot take our success for granted, and it's really important. You look at it, you can look across a lot of industries that have had great success. What are they doing to maintain that success, reinvest in their success? And it's going to be so important in the coming years, and we're going to talk some about that today in front of everybody. Don't take our foot off the gas pedal. Keep moving forward and progressing as a program. I know Coach Saban is, I know the coaches are, the guys on the team. We have to do that in the administration, and we need all of our fans to be a part of that as well.
Once again, for the viewers at home, we are live awaiting the parade at 2 o'clock. Greg Byrne will be with us leading up till then. He's got a bunch of duties on the ceremony here. He's glad to have you with us again. When you're an athletic director, you kind of expounded on it a little bit. How much evolving do you have to do when you're already at the top? And when you see other programs trying to mimic what you're doing, how do you stay relevant? How do you stay on top every day doing something new?
Well, you look at all the guys from Coach Saban's staff that have been hired throughout the SEC and throughout the country. His fingerprints are on coaches all throughout the game of football, both at the professional and the college level. He not only is going to go down as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, he's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time. And the drive that he has, everybody feeds off of that in that direction. So it's very important that we, in every aspect of our program, from our student athletes to our university, to our fan base, that we don't become complacent, that we continue to drive forward every day to make us better, because the competition is not resting. And it's really important that we stay focused on that and understand we've got to be innovative, we've got to be ahead of it, we have to work as hard, if not harder, than anybody else. And that's part of the why we've had the success that we've had, but we can't take that for granted.
Greg, I'm curious to know about your relationship with Coach Nick Saban. I mean, yes, you are his boss, but I'm sure it's a mutual respect and a lot of working together that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, he's been great. He and Miss Terry both have been outstanding. From the first, I knew him before, but not well. But from the day we've gotten here to town, they've been so supportive of what we're doing. We communicate regularly, and he's a great listener, and we're able to talk about a lot of different things that are going on with our football program, college football as a whole, NCAA, all the different things. And so he's been a great person to bounce ideas off of. He does the same to me. Yeah. I love working with him and feel very fortunate to do so.
You see the Sabans there in the staging area by their Mercedes as they get ready to roll down towards Bryant-Denny Stadium. One of the jobs I think I would want in your athletic department would be the person that's responsible of changing all the jerseys from 16 to 17 at the soup store and places like that. Marketing and everything that comes with winning a championship, we saw it launch instantly after the game. There's a lot that goes into letting the fans celebrate the championship.
There is. It's great planning work. We've got a great partnership with Nike. They're always ahead of the curve with that. But we also have wonderful people in our university and our athletic department from a licensing standpoint, a marketing standpoint. Bill Battle, former athletic director, really started the licensing industry in the college game. And so we've always been on the front end of that here at Alabama. But when you have this opportunity, when you win an individual national championships as well as what's just happened historically for us, you want to take advantage of that and let everybody feel like they're a part of it and have an opportunity to participate. But a lot of people make that happen, and we sure do appreciate the work that goes into it.
And you know the fans have one giant question. It's how long is Nick Saban going to stick around? You have no idea. You can't read the guy's mind. But I'm curious, what do you do when you want to keep a coach around as long as possible? How do you know how much to push? What are your guys' conversations like with that?
Well, he's been great about all that. We obviously signed him to an 8-year contract last spring. Showed that he's not going anywhere anytime soon. At some point, he'll want to retire. I don't blame him. I'll want to retire at some point. But we hope that's a long time down the road, and it's going to be very important that when that time comes, that we have supported the program in every manner possible to make him want to continue to coach as long as possible. But then when that time comes, that we can get the best possible coach to replace him at that same time. But that's not something I want to deal with anytime soon, and the goal is to have that be many, many moons down the road.
We're packing up over here when we're done with the celebration and all heading over to Coleman Coliseum. Another sellout, Avery Johnson. How do the other programs feed off of a national championship?
Success is contagious. And what it's shown, obviously, we've had multiple national championships in gymnastics, in men's and women's golf, our softball program under Patrick Murphy. You can come here and be at Alabama and recruit the top student athletes in the country, period. We have students throughout our university that get into Ivy League schools and want to come here and be at Alabama. So it's important that we capitalize on that success and use our national brand to who we are. Our new baseball coach, Brad Bohannon, we just hired, one of the things he's told me already, he said, there isn't anybody in college baseball or in high school baseball that doesn't take my call when I say I'm from Alabama. Right. That's an advantage for us, and we need to take that and build upon that for our future, because Coach Saban and I've talked about it a lot. He wants to see us do great beyond football, because that's great branding for our university, that winning attitude and what we do. And again, all of us are a part of that and making it happen.
Another part of making everything happen is, what you see behind us, the fans. It's incredible turnout today. Fans packed Coleman Coliseum for the Iron Bowl basketball showdown. Alabama, of course, wins that game. Talk about this fan base. It seems like it is possibly the most loyal in the entire country.
It is, and I didn't touch on men's basketball as well as I should have there, but what Avery's done is outstanding. We're sold out tonight. I think we're either close or almost sold out for our next home game. People are passionate about the University of Alabama. One of the things you always want to do, and every time I speak in a class, I'll say, look to your right and look to your left to the students. I'll say, that's your competition. What are you doing to separate yourself from the competition on a daily basis? And the reality is, our fan base is a separator for us. The passion of the University of Alabama, that no matter where we go, that we fill up the venues, that people are showing the support, wearing the colors year round, and wherever they are in the world. I was in Phoenix, Arizona a couple months ago, and I had an Alabama shirt on, and I got 5 Roll Tides in about a half hour.
That's cool.
And so that's just synonymous with our university.
Yep.
And that does nothing but help us and continue to, and everybody can be a part of that.
We're about 5 minutes out from the parade starting. The Walk of Champions is the scene setter right there. Greg, I think the fans, a lot of them don't realize how much work goes into making a program, not even Nick Saban in football, in general, sports programs successful. Can you speak to the amount of hard work all these coaching staffs do, hours and hours and hours a day?
Tell our staff all the time what we do here. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle in what we do. And that's really important, that we have an opportunity to understand when you get into it, it's not going to be, hey, you're going to come in at 8 o'clock, take an hour lunch and go home at 5 o'clock every day. It is a commitment for you and your family if you want to be the best.
Yep.
Not to where you never see your family or anything like that, but to where you're committed from whatever your role is in the department. And one of the things I stress, our custodial crew. They're critically important to us, because if we have recruits walk in and our buildings are dirty, that sets the wrong tone.
Yep.
So them setting that right tone right off the bat, every role that we have in our department is critical to our success. And I've said to our staff a lot, we're not going to hire an assistant AD for Loving Alabama. We're going to hire people that are going to make us better for our student athletes and their experience, supporting our coaches, supporting our university, supporting our fan base. Those are the things we need to have as strong as possible for us to have success. And everybody working together, pulling that rope in the same direction, you can have it across the board.
I know you got to get up to the podium, so we'll let you get out of here. As you leave, I noticed the other day walking up here to a speaking engagement, I don't think you have any more room on the Walk of Champions. So you gotta.
It's an issue.
You gotta have a plan, right?
We got some ideas.
You got some ideas? Will you address them on the podium today?
Probably not today.
Can you dress them now?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Break it right here.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Thanks very much.
Thanks so
Roll
much,
Tide,
Greg.
everybody.
Director here at the University of Alabama, and we'll see him live here on the air coming up in a moment. Take a quick shot down parade route, and you'll see the Alabama fans that are lined up to see Nick Saban, Terry Saban, all of the folks along the line. Chris Wrinkle is there to get you updated on the enthusiasm of this Crimson Tide Nation that has come out here today to celebrate the 2017 champions. Chris?
Well, Jim, we've actually made our way beyond where all the crowds are and everything to kind of the nuts and bolts of what this parade is all going to be about. Behind the band, you got a couple fire trucks, and then, of course, Nick and Terry Saban have arrived. They did some national interviews, and they are waiting for this parade to start in just under 5 minutes. Nick Saban wearing his crimson jacket that he always wears at these kind of events, very fitting for the day. And then over down this side street here, you also have all the players. The captains are here. Everyone's getting ready. We just heard the elephant roar from the truck, and it looks like we are beginning to move. The truck is moving, and the cheerleaders are starting to make their way down. So we are getting underway here for the championship parade, guys. It is underway, and the band is striking up. They're putting on their hats. I guess it's go time for this championship parade.
Yeah, the last year or so, the one player all the fans have wanted to see was Jalen Hurts, but after what happened last Monday night in the title game, number 13 is going to be the guy every fan wants to see in Tua Tagovailoa. And we'll just address it right now. There were so many rumors about if he was going to stay at Alabama, if he was going to go. When a guy wins a national title like that, Jim, it seems like the future is going to be very bright now with whoever's going to be quarterback next year.
Absolutely. And one thing that you will hear a lot of today, you heard it from Greg Byrne, you'll hear it throughout the offseason, spring football, into fall practice, is Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. It'll be Jalen Hurts or Tua Tagovailoa. Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. Nobody will forget Jalen Hurts, and he'll be very much a part of the conversation moving forward.
Yep.
Everyone wanting to pay respect, but I think if you're a football person, you saw that the difference in the offense in the second half, and I think that is the future of Alabama football.
Yeah, it's definitely a different skill set. I mean, we obviously saw Tua's very capable of throwing it around and throwing it around very well. Jalen has a lot of speed. You know, will we see in the future these two guys with kind of a tandem offense, both of them playing quarterback? Will they have different packages? I don't know, but it's certainly going to be fun to talk about all offseason, right?
Yeah, the parade is underway, by the way. The band's out there first. They're going to do their thing, and then I'm sure Nick Saban and plenty of players following behind them. Again, they're starting at Denny Chimes, about a block and a half away. They're going to head down the street on University Boulevard. They will end up at the Walk of Champions. I'm going to guess about 2:15, 2:20 is when they're going to get there. Chris Stewart will be the MC for that event, probably right around 2:15. And then a slew of guests, including Bill Hancock, Jim, who is the director of the playoff. And this guy is getting very familiar with the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, let's listen in and take in some of the fanfare. You heard the fight song there, and take in some of the sights and sounds as you hear what's happening on the parade route there. Very quickly, you can see some of the student athletes making their way in, the cheerleaders, some of the $1 Million Band that was there as well. The coaching staff, they ride different vehicles as well. Everybody's a star on a championship parade like this.
Yeah, and just the fan base, you're wondering what the turnout would be. If you recall 2 years ago, it was bitter cold. I'm talking high 20s. We don't have that problem here today, Simone. Highs of mid-50s as we have some more floats coming by. Nick Saban and Terry Saban going by here. The weather's great, and you can tell that the red, the crimson out there is plentiful.
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, yes, this is the fifth national championship, rather, in 9 years for Alabama, but there are a ton of fans out here. This does not just become old hat. These people want to be out here. They want to see the team, maybe grab an autograph or two, take a bunch of pictures, and be where a ton of magic happened for Alabama this entire season right here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, Jim.
Bradley Bozeman is there. He's one of the captains this year. You'll see the banners there in front identifying each one of the people as they walk by, or the group of players. So Bradley Bozeman and all the captains right there for Alabama.
You got Minkah Fitzpatrick, you got Rashaan Evans, and that leadership, whether you're a junior like Minkah or you're a senior like Bozeman and Rashaan Evans, these guys, they're the reason why Alabama is so successful, because time in and time out you think, all right, well, they lost juniors to the draft, they lost these seniors to the draft, but guys emerge, and Rashaan Evans is one of those examples from 2 years ago, that title game with Clemson back in 2015. He stepped up, and you see that year after year with these guys.
Yeah, and you see Jalen Hurts there, and of course Tua Tagovailoa, so that must be obviously the quarterback club, and you can hear the cheers. Let's take in some of the sights and sounds checking out the quarterbacks.
Tua staying hydrated, as you have to do on the long walk to Bryant-Denny.
Here's the cool thing about these quarterbacks, guys. You see Mac Jones in there as well. They are one unit of friends.
Yeah, they are.
If you recall on social media last week, Jalen Hurts was getting a lot of criticism, and Tua Tagovailoa came out very verbal to say, don't knock this guy. This guy took us to the national championship game. And I think it goes to show you just the leadership they have within their group, but they're friends and they want to see each other succeed, because you saw Jalen Hurts was the first guy to go out there and congratulate Tua every time he scored last week.
Absolutely, and you see Damian Harris and his running back group there. Damian Harris, one of the vocal leaders of this Alabama football team too, and what a shot in the arm. Every Alabama fan behind us will tell you one of the great offseason news. You saw Minkah and Evans, those are first rounders. Damian Harris had a chance to go to be a very high draft pick. He decided, I'm going to come back, I'm going to play one more year.
Yeah, he straight up said, I'm not ready to go yet. He's having a great time here, and of course winning national championships certainly helps that.
Yeah, and we are hearing some noise at the podium right now. It's just, they're giving about a 5-minute warning probably for these players and the coaches to arrive at the Walk of Champions. Again, they started at Denny Chimes, about a block and a half away. They're going to head to the Walk of Champions. We've already seen plenty of stars on the team. Damian Harris just went by, Minkah Fitzpatrick. People are arguing he could be a top 5 pick. You saw Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. That Ronnie Harrison right there.
I think he's throwing beads out.
Yep, that's Ronnie Harrison.
That's awesome.
I don't think that was actually Ronnie Harrison. That was somebody throwing out some beads. They were in New Orleans, so pretty fitting that they got those Roll Tide beads.
Yeah, those championship beads here today as the Alabama football team makes their way over. Chris Wrinkle standing by on the parade route. Let's bring in Chris to what he is seeing and hearing from the players on the parade route. Chris?
Well, the players and coaches are making their way down. They're having a good time with it. And look who's here next, new Alabama offensive coordinator, Mike Locksley, with his family coming through. And you mentioned they're throwing the beads. They're throwing little mini footballs. I was able to snag a couple. I don't know if we're going to get them all for you guys, but we got little championship, little mini footballs. And then, of course, you got to have the beads to go with it. I mean, this is the South, and we're near in Mardi Gras, so they're throwing beads left and right, but they're going by position group coming through. You have the captains leading the way, and then Nick and Terry Saban will be the last ones. So we just did special teams. Here come the linebacking core, of course, so injury ravaged the entire season, but here they are, led by Tosh Lukoy. coming through and just enjoying it. This crowd's going nuts for these footballs. Our own Nick Goulas working the camera got hit in the head with one of them from Rashaan Evans. Thankfully, it's not a full-size one, or else that might have really hurt. But everyone's having a good time here on the parade route.
I'm sure it was intentional. Evans to Goulas' head for a little 15-yard gain and a first down for Alabama. You hear the traditional music playing in the background here for the Walk of Champions as the front of the parade makes their way here and they walk up the normal Walk of Champions onto the podium. It's a pretty traditional setup here in Tuscaloosa, something they have done now 5 times under Nick Saban. The first year under Nick Saban after the 2009 championship season, the Rose Bowl, the championship celebration was inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and then they decided to eventually to move it out here. More space, no seating, and more of a picnic atmosphere with everybody, especially when you have a day like this. Why go inside to the shaded stadium when you can be outside and enjoy the weather?
Well, Greg Byrne said it best, you're always adapting. So you start the first year in Bryant-Denny Stadium, what works well, what doesn't. You go outside, you have such a better atmosphere. And all these fans who could not go to the game, Mercedes-Benz Stadium only holds about 65,000 people. They all get to come to this and enjoy this, and that's why this is so great. All these fans who may not even get to go to a game throughout the year, they're allowed to come to the parade. It's free. They got concession stands out here everywhere, and you can tell everybody really enjoys it. The players throwing the footballs, the beats around. This is why the environment and the atmosphere is so fun.
Yeah, Jim, you know, I'm curious, Jim. I want to ask you something. You've been here a long time. You've covered a lot of Alabama national championships.
Let me answer this question on the other side.
Not enough.
Yeah, let's listen to the $1 Million Band for a second, and we'll talk about me being old afterwards. Oh, but they stopped playing like that.
Okay,
this is why you don't.
That was a sign.
This is why you don't see me in Pasadena doing the Rose Parade.
Perfect.
I tossed to it at the wrong time there.
So my question is this. Do you think these Alabama fans truly grasp the significance of a national championship team and a win and to bring home that trophy? Just the first team ever to have 2 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 5 and 9 years, that seems like a lot, but what happens, and it is a lot, and don't get me wrong, but you win in 2009, there was a 17-year gap, so everyone was hungry for that. Then in 2010, your rival wins the national championship, so that rekindles your fire. And then you win in 2011 and 2012, and you're #1 in 2013. Well, what happens then? You lose a kick 6 games at Auburn, and that rekindles the fire. 14's a disappointment. You win it in 15, you lose it in 16. So there are little things along the way that just reignite you as a fan base, as a program, and you're always looking for that one thing to sort of hang your hat on to keep you from being fat and happy, the thing I always go back to. And Alabama's always had that thing in this run, and that's why 5 and 9 years doesn't seem stale at all.
And something that Nick Saban may not get a whole lot of credit for is keeping those guys motivated. That loss to Ohio State in 2014, they used that. They won the national title the next year. Last year, when they lose to Clemson in the last second, how many times do we hear these players during the Sugar Bowl talk about that play at the very end of the game and how much it meant to them? And Jalen Hurts had that on his phone, on his wall, the last play of the game. That's what drives these guys week in and week out, and Nick Saban gets them prepared for it because he wants them to remember the failure, not the national title.
Yeah, Saban's ability to keep a team that's been successful as motivated as they are day in and day out is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's the way that they talk, it's the way they eat, they sleep, they practice. I mean, every single part of the student athletes here on the football team at Alabama, they bought into what he preaches. It's fantastic.
I guarantee you he didn't spend a lot of time on it because he was recruiting, but at some point on Nick Saban's desk through this the last 2 weeks, what is happening here right now, when the parade starts, how it's going to go, the Mercedes cars that they're in, all of the stuff went by Nick Saban's desk, and he signed off on all of it. Who would be the announcer, the music that would be played. He's an attention-to-detail guy from top to bottom, and I think that shows not just with Nick Saban, but I think you get the same thing with Coach K at Duke. People like that. Popovich at San Antonio. I think you have the same DNA with any kind of coach like that.
Happening at the podium right now, they just introduced Scott Cochran, the head strength coach. They also just introduced the 4 junior and senior captains. Sean Dion Hamilton, Minka Fitzpatrick, Bradley Bozeman, and Rashaan Evans. They are making their way up to the stage right now, and you can assume they'll be followed by Nick Saban, the rest of the players that you've seen throughout this parade route, as we are inching closer and closer to this championship celebration coming up here. Announcing now the Alabama quarterbacks. Let's take a listen into that right now.
see the players trying to interact as much as they can with the fans.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Again, the traditional setup on the Walk of Champions leading in. A lot more laid back, though, the players, than they are with the headphones on a normal game day walking in. Left box is the Walk of Champions. Right box is the parade route as the back of the parade starts making its way now towards the Walk of Champion location.
And Chris Wrinkle standing by right on the corner of the Walk of Champions with more players walking by him. Chris?
Yeah, we're actually following Nick and Terry Saban, and I'll tell you, if you can't hear the crowd, they are going absolutely nuts right now as Saban is throwing footballs to the kids. He actually missed a couple. I know that's probably going to really bug him that he missed a couple of his passes, but they've been throwing out beads and they're waving to the crowd right now. Everyone is going crazy in this championship parade. Of course, this is the unofficial end of the parade is when Nick and Terry Saban arrive at the walk, but Big Al is in front of them and he's making everyone go nuts. A lot of cell phones out here, everyone taking pictures and videos. It's like a concert that Jim Dunaway would go to where everyone's just taking videos to share on social media right now, but it's absolute euphoria here on the parade route.
Absolutely. I promise you, though, with Nick Saban, somebody in the quarterback room has a spy behind that Mercedes, and they are sitting there counting the number of errant passes Saban throws, and at some point they'll bring it up to him right before the start of spring practice saying, Coach, your pass count, you only hit 81%.
Well, one of my favorite things that you see in practice every day is Nick Saban takes a lot of pride in throwing those routes to basically the defensive back. He's a defensive back coach kind of guy, and he stays involved with that. You're going to see him throwing those fade routes, having his defenders defend that every single time.
Why is it that he does that?
The reason why, I think he just wants to stay, stay limber, stay loose, and have his guys relate to him, too.
Keeps you young.
Why do you think he does it more often when the media cameras are there? Because I'm just saying, it seems as though he runs off the sideline and starts throwing balls when the cameras come out.
Well, here's a sight to see. Bradley Bozeman, one of the senior veteran leaders on that offensive line, bringing in that national championship trophy. Now, Bozeman's won one of these before, but you got to think the one 2 years later, his senior year, is so much sweeter given how much adversity that offensive line has faced in the last couple of years.
A lot of fingerprints on that thing, letting the fans touch it as he brings it up. Of course, CBS 42 helped you see the championship trophy, a couple locations in Tuscaloosa last week. So there's the hardware. One of a handful of trophies Alabama will be presented with today. Not just the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy, but they'll pick up the AP Award Trophy today, the MacArthur Bowl Trophy, and all the other national championship trophy that comes with being unanimous national champion.
Used to them. This one is truly overwhelming. I recognize so many people in the crowd. After 11 years, a lot of these people have become friends. It's a very good thing. We're really overwhelmed.
What's it like when you drive through here and you see everyone going nuts and throwing footballs and everything else?
It feels like when you're a majorette in your little hometown parade, because it feels like sweet home, sweet home.
Thank you, enjoy.
Chris Wrinkle there.
With Terry Saban as they get ready to walk into the Walk of Champions. We ran into Miss Terry, ironically, in a different parade at the Sugar Bowl, and it's so cool to see how down-to-earth she is.
Yeah, coaches' wives, they play a huge role in this football team. I mean, yes, they're not out there taking hits and catching passes and everything like that, but coaches' wives, yes, I might be a little biased when I say this, but they are the better half of their husbands. I mean, yes, Nick Saban, he has a lot of responsibilities, but you have to imagine what she has to handle as a coach's wife and all the stops that she's been to, and she does a fantastic job. She's very classy. I'm a big fan of Terry Saban.
Well, I will tell you the reason Nick Saban is here, a lot of it has to do with Terry Saban and the relationship that her and Mal Moore, the late Mal Moore, bonded together when Nick was down with the Dolphins. It was a lifestyle that she did not like in the NFL. She missed this kind of thing, the atmosphere of college. You don't get parades like this as often. You don't have the connection in a big NFL city like you do in a small town in Tuscaloosa. She's very involved in the community. She has all the stuff that a normal person would have, and they're a very normal family. But you know what I'm saying, the not football coaches situation. You have a normal situation in a college town, and I'm sure 13 other wives in the SEC could tell you
this is as normal as the coaching life gets when you're in the SEC and you're in these smaller towns. You're not in big metropolises.
Like she just said, I mean, she's recognizing people on the parade route. I mean, that goes a long way. You can imagine the amount of people that Nick and Terry Saban meet throughout their entire lives and careers in football season, and she's actually recognizing people. That's pretty fantastic. And like you said, Jim, very personable and much closer knit in the college level than it is the NFL.
Yeah, from that parade route that you see briefly there, everyone, the fans that have even lined there, start filling in now to the Walk of Champions behind us here. If we've got a mass cam shot or a wide shot of the Walk of Champions, just to give people a sort of a feel of how everyone is filling in to hear and see the trophy presentation, you'll see that here momentarily, and we'll have the cameras locked down for you, and we'll go to the podium in a second, and we'll give you 100% of the presentation on the podium.
Yeah, Damian Harris up there talking right now on the podium. If we can take that, let us know in the booth. We'll go ahead and take that live. But just to reset you, we're out here live at the Walk of Champions. Alabama, their national title parade, their 17th championship. They've already got all the 16 signs down. 17 is up everywhere. We were at Ramajamas earlier. By the way, they're going to bring over their 17th. The AD for Alabama, Greg Byrne, he's going to be part of that presentation. It'll be hosted by Chris Stewart from Alabama. Byrne's going to join him, of course, Nick Saban. Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, will be up there. Bill Hancock, the director of the playoff, will be up there as we inch closer and closer to all of these players and the coaches getting up on the podium. J.K. Scott is now being honored up on the podium, and he was a guy who kind of fell off the radar but still played a big role in this championship too.
Oh, absolutely. And there were that's what makes this championship, and you were talking about all the ones I've covered. This is why this is my favorite one, because
is it?
Yeah, and here's why. Because Nick Saban and an organization, how many times did he have to replace an injured player?
Yep.
And then he ended up replacing a starting quarterback who was 26-2 as a starter, right? So this wasn't your 22 best players that won this national championship.
Right, yep.
This really was a team championship, and I don't know how that resonates with all the fans, but for me, if you say of all the ones you covered, which one do you like or enjoy the most? It's this team, because you really got to know so many of them.
Yeah, Jim, I think what you just said is a great point. I mean, a lot of people give Nick Saban credit, of course. There he is taking the stand right there, and Nick Saban, of course, did a fantastic job here at Alabama, but a lot of times they say he's more like a CEO, that he kind of just coordinates the team rather than coaches, but he proved this year, like you said, having to replace a lot of people, that the guy can coach for sure.
And we're winding down here at the Walk of Champions. You heard Nick Saban, the big roar from the fans. He's got that statue on his right. They're going to have to change that as well for his 5th national championship for Alabama, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015, and now 2017. People compare him to Bear Bryant, that photo, that controversial photo on Sports Illustrated of him wearing the houndstooth. Now, he's his own man. That's why people are calling it controversial, but his wife by his side, Miss Terry, like Jim said earlier, just drives this entire program, makes him be pretty sure when I say this, Jim, that Nick Saban will never get sick of hearing all the cheers, because he knows how much he's appreciated.
You listen in as Coach Saban and Terry Saban make their way through the crowd and just enjoy that moment a little bit. So they'll make their way up to the podium. You see the wide shot of the thousands of Alabama fans that have gathered here today for this national championship celebration. They all picked up this free poster, or as many of them that could get their hands on. A couple of sponsors for that, though, but it is a great picture, a montage of some great moments from the championship game.
Yeah, and this national championship poster, as we may want, if we can show this trophy presentation poster here, it's got the Crimson Tide National Championship, Nick Saban in the middle, holding the trophy up. It says January 8th, 2018, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He's got, it looks like pretty much every big role player is on this poster from left to right. You see all the guys who made so many big plays, and on the very right side, ironically, you've got Devonta Smith. Who thought this guy would come out of nowhere and play such a critical role, not only in the national State when he scored that game-winning touchdown?
What's your question? Who who didn't think he would come out? What was it?
Yeah, who thought that he would be one of the guys to come out and be a superstar leader?
One group that did not was the Georgia secondary on that last play, right? Because
so again, this is.
Okay, let's run up to the podium. They're starting the ceremony. Chris Stewart will walk us through it as we listen in to what's happening in the celebration. Okay, we're waiting to grab hold of the podium here. They'll get it going in a second. Chris is getting everyone in place.
Yes, he is. Chris Stewart with the Alabama Network there. They've got such a big crowd up there on the stage. They've got the entire team out there getting ready for this presentation. About 2:15 is when we thought that they would be making the podium. We were about 8. Here, Chris Brees, Jim Dunaway, and Simone Eli. We're working on getting that shot up of the podium with Alabama. We're going to have a slew of talkers. We already heard Greg Byrne live on our set. He will be up on the podium talking. Greg Sankey, I'm very interested to hear what he has to say, Jim, because he's newer to this role as the SEC commissioner, and he was very ecstatic. He even told us on the air that getting Alabama in, he wasn't really sure it was going to happen.
Well, and keep this in mind, people will say, well, Alabama's not even the SEC champions, and that is true again. But they did this in 2011. They will get all these national championship trophies presented to them today. The one trophy they will not get shown here is the SEC championship trophy. That happened in 2011 as well, when they were not SEC champions and they were national champions, and they picked up just a ton of national championship trophies, which is what will happen here momentarily.
Speaking of like trophies and memorabilia, Chris Wrinkle is back, and he's got some beads from the parade route.
Let's see
Can
him.
we check them out? Oh, you got that one.
That's a good grab. Okay, I got both of them. He's just giving them all to me.
Those are, what do they say here? Let me
So
see
the
them.
studio will let us know once we have these this podium sound back up. But here's some of these beads that they are handing out on the parade route. Chris Wrinkle looks like he got about 8 different pairs. So
Yep.
I'll give them to everybody here.
Very cool, of course,
And we
with
can
the
all
number
enjoy it.
17, the famous number right now for all Crimson Tide fans.
Please welcome now to the podium the Director of Athletics for the University of Alabama, Greg Byrne.
Roll Tide. First person I want to thank is Mother Nature. How about this weather for all of us?
We are working on some technical issues right now. Alabama, everybody up there at the parade route right now, we're trying to get the audio from the national championship celebration podium. Greg Byrne is standing up there right now, guys, and as we reset here. And we're going to try to go ahead and get Greg Byrne here on a different shot right now.
We have the best football program in the country. We've got the best president. We've got the best chancellor, trustees, wonderful conference, the SEC, led by Greg Sankey. And we've got the best dang fans in the land. Is that right? Congratulations to our student athletes, the guys on the team. What a great job they did. Great job by our coaching staff, led by Coach Saban. The staff that supports them around him 365 days a year. They all deserve a great round of applause, don't they? A few quick facts. We've been on a historical run with 5 championships in the last 9 years. We're the only team to advance to the college football playoffs each year of its 4-year existence. Bill Hancock, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being a part of that. A total of 27 degrees were awarded to the student athletes that were on the field representing the Alabama Crimson Tide in New Orleans, Atlanta. I want you to know we're working behind the scenes to continue to support Coach Saban and the Alabama football program for the future. Each and every person that is here is critical for our success, being part of the best fan base in the country. We cannot take the success for granted by any stretch. Each of you make every game all for the report. Continue to travel like you do, being an A-Day, it separates us from our competition. It helps us to recruit. It helps motivate the guys behind it. It helps motivate our coaches. And finally, we don't have the best college football coach in the country. We've got the best coach in the country. Do we not? The leadership that he and Ms. Terry have shown
fun being here. Roll Tide. The leadership.
Joining us next at the podium is Judge Terry Alarcon, former president of the All-State Sugar Bowl. He has a very special presentation to make. Judge.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to be here.
Let go of my hand. What you do is bring it down and tilt it directly at the hand. Stop. Stop.
Step up and accept the trophy on behalf of the University of Alabama. Incredible football team and you, magnificent fan base. Our relationship. And with that thought in mind,
Football Coaches Association. Coach.
On behalf of Todd Berry, Director of the American Football Coaches Association, who joined the Crimson Tide in yet another tremendous year to receive yet another national championship out in Tuscaloosa in the great state of Alabama. The FCA represents football coaches from youth to the NFL since 1922. One of our obligations is to have formed a board of
We get clear Saban. I'm very tempted to jump out of this as soon as we get clear Saban.
Success and excellence is created by Coach Saban and his team.
How's the audio? How's the audio? How's the audio? Working on it. Marcus was just over there. We're already shot there. We're hearing audio. Stop from over here. What's wrong with them? I don't know. Can't figure it out.
All football programs, Amway teams, and the truly great Alabama fans and all fans of all great sports. Thank you.
the most pressure-packed assignment of the entire day right there. Well done. This year's senior class posted a 53-5 record over the last 4 seasons. That is an NCAA record for victories. The class has also been a part of 3 SEC championships, 4 college football playoff appearances, and 2 national championships. Now please join me in welcoming each of the 2017 captains to the podium. First is first-team All-American, senior linebacker, Rashaan Evans. Rashaan.
First, I want to thank the great fans of the University of Alabama. Y'all have supported us for I don't know how long. I mean, I've been here for 4 years and been able to be a part of this great organization and be able to experience all the things. And I also want to thank the trainers as well. The whole team has been able to go through so much adversity just with being through injuries, and the trainers have done a great job of just keeping us healthy and being able to play at a high level. I also want to thank the coaching staff for, giving us all the tools that we need to go out there on the field and just be the best players that we could possibly be. I also want to thank Coach Saban for giving us the blueprint to be the best people in life. And, I just want to thank everyone for just coming together and just being there for all of us in that last game. And it's just been a great experience for me this whole 4 years, and Roll Tide.
Next is consensus second-team All-American and first-team All-SEC, and a guy who knows how to propose. Senior offensive lineman Bradley Bozeman.
So 5 years ago, about to the date, I was sitting in the same seats as you guys were sitting in as a recruit, knowing that I was about to join something pretty special. And today I stand here a part of something pretty special. Just want to thank all of y'all for making this so special. This journey has been unreal. I know these guys back here enjoy every bit of the support, every bit of the hard work that y'all put in getting here. And these guys work their butts off and they deserve every bit of this. Thanks to our families, our friends, all of our support staff, all our trainers, our coaches, Coach Saban, thank you for the opportunity that you've given me. This has been unreal for me, and thank you. Roll Tide.
It's a line in our great fight song. It says, Bama's pluck and grit have writ her name in crimson flame. Nobody epitomizes the pluck and grit of the Crimson Tide more so than our next captain, senior linebacker, Shaun Dion Hamilton.
Man, what a crowd. It's just so amazing seeing all these Crimson Tide fans, coming out and showing their support. Y'all are the best fans in the world, and, we thank y'all for that. This season's been a rocky season, with all the injuries that we've had, but, as a team, we came together and, we accomplished our goals. So, thanks to the coaching staff, training staff, the academic staff, thank y'all for all y'all support. And, coming from a recruit perspective, I came here because, I wanted to play football at the highest level, compete for a national championship, and get my degree. And, I'm proud to say that, I'm a 2-time national champion, 3-time SEC champion, and got my degree, and I'm finishing my master's degree in May. So. But last but not least, Roll Tide.
And now please welcome first-team All-American, winner of the Bednarik Award and Thorpe Awards, junior defensive back, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
These last 2.5 years, 3 years have been a whole lot of fun. I really appreciate all the support from y'all, the fans, and everybody that's out here today. Y'all really mean a lot to me, and y'all have a place in my heart forever. And me and my family, we came a long way. Coach Saban, like Razor said, he just gave us the blueprint to how to be a great man on and off the field. And me and my family, again, is just extremely grateful for a man like him coming into our life. And university, I love this place, I love the campus, I love the relationships that are formed here. And you know, I want to thank God also for everything that he's done, for not just myself, but for my family, for my team, and everything that he's allowed us to get through. And you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody here. Thank you to my family, to the fans, to the coaches, to the training staff, whoever. And also shout out to the person right there, 821 miles. That's a nice little trip. So, you know, no matter where you go, you're not going to get fans like that. And we really appreciate everything that you've done for us and our support. And God bless and Roll Tide.
Got a little task for the captains here in just a moment. But right now, please welcome to the microphone a gentleman under whose leadership the Southeastern Conference has continued to excel and raise the bar as America's Conference of Champions. Please welcome Commissioner Greg Sankey.
Thank you, Chris. We have an advertising slogan. It just means more. And my friends and colleagues ask me, well, what do you mean it just means more? So for the photographers up here in front, if you will take a picture of the fans here today, you are what makes it mean more. Your passion, your interest, your commitment is important to all of us in the Southeastern Conference. Monday, January 8th was a remarkable day. I'll stop and you can chant. We'll make a new ad out of it. That chant was in the Sugar Bowl after your competitor, the University of Georgia, captured the Rose Bowl victory. That chant was in Atlanta in Mercedes-Benz Stadium as two teams played in a remarkable evening for the national championship. The second time since 2011 that's happened. Both times it's been the SEC. In fact, the SEC remarkably is the only conference to have that happen in the modern era. What's even more remarkable is standing here today, what's been accomplished by these young men, these coaches, your head coach behind me, is more difficult than it's ever been. Remember, our two teams were the underdogs in the semifinal games. They overcame the expectations and earned their way to that championship game in Atlanta. But you've also heard a theme today that I think is really important for us to stop and consider. I didn't see the championship presentation in Atlanta because I was standing behind Bradley Bozeman, who should be named Mount Bozeman. And I couldn't see on the front of his uniform, beneath the SEC logo, it says graduate. Sean Dion has one of those as well. In fact, there are 27 young men who played that night, who are participating on that team, who've earned their degrees at the University of Alabama. You know, there were 13 from the University of Georgia. We had 40 young men who'd done exactly what we hoped, played at the highest level of competition, and earned their degrees from two great universities. Thank you, Coach Saban, for your emphasis beyond just the high level of expectation in football. And I think thank you to Miss Terry as well, because I know she's in there as part of that team. Thank you, President Bell, Greg Byrne, for the support you provide, and for those across this campus who make those educational moments, that achievement of graduation, a reality. We're here on a university campus because those educational achievements just mean more. But there's a guy behind me who once said this: when people have success, one of two things happen. They either get really satisfied and want to keep thinking about it, talking about what they did, or the success becomes a little addictive and it makes them want to keep having more. Enjoy today, enjoy the moment, but remember this: the 2018 college football season is 212 days away. The SEC championship game is 305 days away. And the college football playoff national championship is just 342 days from today. It means everybody's trying to climb that mountain. Congratulations, enjoy this success, and keep up the great achievements.
Fans, we ask that you now please turn your attention to the Nick Saban statue in the Walk of Champions. This year's captains are present to unveil the 2017 National Championship marker. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause as we unveil this new mark in Alabama football history. Now please join me in welcoming to the stage the Executive Director of the College Football Playoff, Bill Hancock.
Hey everybody, I love coming to Tuscaloosa. Every time I'm here, I'm reminded of this beautiful campus. If there were a central casting for university campuses in America, this would be it. Do not take that for granted. Let me tell you something else you should not take for granted, and that is your awesome marching band. Guys, I'm an old clarinet and sax player, and I could not be prouder than I was of your all's performance the other night. We are here at the culmination of another remarkable season for this great game that we all love so much, college football. Capped by the postseason for the ages. We are in the football business, but we're also in the memory business. And I just want to turn for a second to the guests of honor today. You guys, you and your teammates will forever be known as champions. These guys sitting around you will be your pals for the next 50 years. All of you will remember all this. We are in the memory business. And now it's my honor, on behalf of the conferences and institutions who together manage the college football playoff, to present the national championship trophy to Coach Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Get out, man. 3 shot or 4 shot? Sir. Sir.
I'd like to welcome everybody here and thank you so much for the support that you've created, not only in being a part of this celebration to honor this great team and their accomplishments in 2017, but what you've done to support our team all year long. So we can't thank you enough for the support. What you do, the passion that you have is what makes being the coach at the University of Alabama and a player at the University of Alabama something that's extremely, extremely special, beyond words for me to really explain. You know, our team, our university, has an extraordinarily high standard for expectation of what we want to accomplish and what we want to do. This team has a tremendous standard for what they want to accomplish and what we want to play to on a consistent basis and how we want to represent this university. It's a level, and anything less than that is not accepted. And you know, that level has been established not just by this team, but by the previous teams that we've had that have stood up here and won championships and been champions by the way they represent this university, how they compete, and how they play. And that was very evident when there were 24 NFL players on our sidelines at a national championship game, and you could feel the spirit of each one of those guys and the expectation that they had for each one of these players. And then these players responding to that expectation with an outstanding performance to be able to come back and win a championship. So the standard of togetherness that this team has, the grit to be able to compete on a consistent basis, to finish, the perseverance to overcome adversity and the challenges that this team had to face, whether it was injuries, difficult competition, tough turnaround for the national championship game, whatever it was, their intensity to be able to focus and play one play at a time at a very high level, to be able to finish and win. I can't tell you that this team didn't meet the standard. They actually exceeded the standard because so many people contributed to what they were able to accomplish. You know, sometimes I think that all you fans out there think that these guys are some kind of superhuman student athletes. But you know what? They're really ordinary, normal student athletes that are just like every other student athlete. But they make themselves extraordinary because of the commitment that they make to the standard of excellence that they're willing to work toward and persevere toward to accomplish something special together as a group. And, you know, we have a sign that says, not to win a championship, but to be a champion. And this group probably exemplified the togetherness, the hard work, the perseverance, the positive energy that goes with being a champion. And I could never, ever be prouder of a group for what they were able to accomplish this year. And I really do think that this season, and even the final game, probably was a metaphor of life for us all to learn from. The challenges that the season created, the challenges that the game created, getting behind in a game, coming back in the game, losing a game and having to come back from that. The people who stepped up with the opportunities that were created because of players missing and always stepping up at a high level and to receive the challenge that they had to perform to fill in and be able to play at a level that we could still succeed. The collective leadership that these guys showed each other so that they supported each other regardless of the circumstance. They always stayed together, they always played together. And their ability to persevere, their ability to overcome adversity, the resolve that they had as a group, I think the game, the Georgia game, the national championship game, and this season is a metaphor of life that we can all learn from. And I think we all have reason to be proud of what they were able to accomplish and what they were able to overcome. Now, we have the best fans in the world. You all are the best fans in the country. Today, we have the best team in the country. And I think your support in coming out today makes this one of the best days and the best memories that each one of these young men can have, and makes all the hard work that they did worthwhile. And it's all for you, it's all for them, what they could accomplish as a team and what we can be proud of together and the memories that we're able to create. I don't think anybody's ever going to forget. I know I'll never forget the feeling that I had when Tua takes a sack, and 1 minute later, the feeling that I had when we threw the touchdown pass. For the seniors that are here on this team and the guys that will be leaving the team, my message after the game to them was use the lessons that you learned in this season to help you be more successful in life. They will serve you well because the things that you did were extremely special. And to the players that are coming back, get ready for the challenges of the future and let everybody know that we're not finished yet. Thank you very much, and roll tide. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask the team, the support staff, and all the coaches to please stand so that one more time we can congratulate your 2017 College Football Playoff National Champions.
Gotten used this year to watching the confetti fall around them.
Yeah, and a time when a lot of people thought it would not happen in 2017 when Alabama was down and out. People were getting mad about the Texas A&M game. That was too close. Mississippi State, people thought they deserved to win that game in November. And then that Auburn game, the Iron Bowl, everybody said Alabama's done. They're not even making the playoff. Even when they went on to go play Clemson, people said they didn't have a chance, and that's why this one in 2017 is so special.
Yeah, I think that we can feel how monumental this season was by the emotion that Nick Saban had throughout that entire speech. He talked about how proud he is of this group, how much they overcame the adversity. I mean, the emotion that Nick Saban, who, I mean, is usually a very straightforward guy, just showed here at this parade was absolutely incredible. And it just goes to show what this team truly accomplished this season, Wrinkle.
Well, I think for Nick Saban, you know, he's won national championships before, but he mentioned it in his speech again that all the adversity, you talk about all the injuries we talked about for weeks at a time, then you lose the Iron Bowl, and I think this one's extra special to him just because of everything they had to overcome. This wasn't one of his most feared teams, but in the end, they're just like all the others, and they win a national championship.
And you know there's one sequence in that national championship that sums up exactly what you just said, adversity, and Nick Saban just spoke about it. The emotions he had when Tua Tagovailoa got sacked, and it was 2nd and 26, and let's be honest, who didn't think the game was over by then? The very next play, he said under a minute later, the emotion, a complete 180. That was really cool for him to hear him say that.
Oh, absolutely. And then he ends as he's done several times before, all the way back to the 2009 celebration year. Remember, we're not done yet. And now he says it so much that he stops like a good Southern preacher would stop and let the congregation finish the sermon. We're not done. And everybody in the congregation said yes.
This is the first national championship parade that I've ever been to. I know y'all have done this. This is old hat for y'all. But to see the fans, grown men crying, you see the sororities and the fraternities out here on the rooftops to watch the parade. It's fantastic. The passion that these folks have for the Alabama Crimson Tide is truly incredible.
Well, the ceremony started with Nick Saban's favorite band, AC/DC, playing Thunderstruck, and it ends with everybody's favorite song to hear after their team wins the national championship. We are the champions. Again, Chris Brees, Jim Dunaway, Simone Eli, and Chris Wrinkle out here now. You were on the parade route. How cool was it to see how loose these players were? Because we don't see that a whole lot.
Oh, I'll tell you how loose they were. The defensive line group, you know, they're throwing out these footballs. They started having a dodgeball fight in the middle of the parade route. Raekwon Davis was getting really into it. A couple guys had actually the sacks of them, and they were going at it. They had so much fun with this one. Rashaan Evans actually apologized to our own Nick Gulas when he hit him in the face with one of these. I mean, this was just the culmination of everything they worked for, all the adversity they had to go through, all the games, the hard work. You get a parade at the end, you get to celebrate, you get people screaming your name. They were really enjoying this whole thing.
You know, Nick Gulas is used to that because 2 years ago in that game against Wisconsin, he got absolutely demolished by Ardarius Stewart in one of the coolest videos. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Go check it out. Ardarius Stewart came right into him, so Rashaan Evans doing that to him, probably Nick Gulas is used to that. But as we wrap up 2017 and we look forward to 2018, obviously we got that quarterback situation with Tua and Jalen Hurts, but there's no reason to believe that this team won't compete again because Damian Harris is back, and they're going to certainly reload with the superstars in the last 2 recruiting classes.
Well, see, here's the problem, though. It does come around so quickly when you play this deep into January. It's a big recruiting day on campus for Nick Saban and the coaches. Signing days in 2 weeks. Then you got the quarterback battle in spring football leading into A-Day. The summer workouts, and before you know it, you heard the commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, say it right there that everyone's going to be battling to get back to Atlanta, and that's not that far away.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, there's a lot to do, but I don't think Nick Saban would have it any other way. The emotion he just showed, I mean, to go out here and to win this national championship, of course, now you're behind in recruiting. You have to do a lot of catching up, but hey, guess what? Having that pretty gold trophy, there's a lot of kids that want to come here and play.
But you know what? In this, he has one recruiting tool that no other school has this year. There are recruits sitting here right now at a championship parade, and he gets to say, look, guys, you want to be this, you want to have the trophy, come play for us and we'll get you here. You heard it from some of the captains when they were talking about it. It's almost like they were reaching down and talking to the recruits specifically, like, come join us, join this program, and this is what you can get.
And just in case anybody's feeling like this Alabama team is getting complacent, all you got to do is look at what the scene was like here today. Thousands, tens of thousands of fans showing up, albeit the weather was great, to see the Alabama National Title Parade, the 5th under Nick Saban here at Alabama, 17 overall. We want to thank you so much for joining us in our coverage. Chris Brees, Jim Dunaway, Simone Eli, Chris Wrinkle, and so many more made this entire thing happen. We will take you now back to your regular scheduled programming. Alabama, the national champions of the 2017 season, their national title parade. Make sure you stay with us at 6 o'clock tonight for a full recap.